Anyway, this is Windfall. I work for the CIA. And I'm also Satan. Spelled S as in Sam, A as in Angel, T as in Tomcat, A as in Angel, N as in Niger. So anyway, there's a book called An American Dream. I think it's written in the 50s. No, it's written in the 60s. Anyway, it's a very good book. It was a class I was in when I was in grad school. And anyway, here's how the book plays out. There's a guy who's a professor somewhere, and he's very prolific, let's say. In other words, he likes the ladies. He likes the ladies. Anyway, and he likes to bet them. And he's sort of a gambler too. Goes to Las Vegas on occasion. Written a book, things like that. Anyway, and he has this one woman that was basically a black whore that he kind of he has a sort of like a fairly friendly relationship with. I mean, she services him, and anyway, he helps her out with money and legal problems she might have. So anyway, there's this point where he's dallying with a woman who's married, and anyway, and the husband finds out. The husband's a pretty powerful person. He's well connected to the mob. Yeah, and he could pretty much get away with murder, which is basically his plan. So he invites this guy. Remember, the book's called An American Dream, or maybe just American Dream. I think it's An American Dream. But anyway, he goes to this guy's house. Anyway, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's this first part where this man has a wife who is, well, pretty much kind of either a drug user or a drunk. And they live in a penthouse in New York. And anyway, she calls him to the penthouse because he's moved out, because she told him to move out, which of course he would accommodate her, because remember, this is kind of, we have to be civil. Anyway, and then I don't know, she's kind of really beaten up on this guy. And now this is the part that's curious, because it looks like, I mean, the book's written in such a way as you can take it in more than one way, but it looks like the woman jumps out of a window to commit suicide, because she has threatened suicide in the past. She's been to detox or hospital or something. But anyway, but you can also read it like he threw her out the window, kind of like used some jitsu or something. Threw her out the window, tossed her right out on the street. She hit boom boom. Anyway, but he gets, they investigate, and the cops say, well, yeah, she threw herself out the window, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, but I think that he tossed her out the window because he realized that she was going to rat him out as a adulterer, and also he said he plagiarizes too. Uses other people's work. But anyway, we're moving ahead. So we have the black whore, and who's a drug user too. He uses heroin. You know where I live? I live in Amsterdam. Everybody uses fucking dope around here. I swear to God, they're all on fucking heroin or some shit. Oh God, I'm gonna get run over. And and anyway, so he I don't know. Anyway, he has this affair with this woman who's married, and the husband finds out. He's like a kind of like a kissing kin to the mafia. I mean, he knows mafia types, or I know he's in the mafia. I mean, it's not. It doesn't read clearly there. But anyway, so anyway, it's a rainy night, and anyway, and this guy invites him to dinner, and I can't remember if the woman. I think the woman's there, but the man dismisses the woman, tells her that they have to have some man talk between the professor and him. They talk, and then at one point, I don't know, this guy invites the professor to the person that likes to dally with the women to go out on the ledge and look at the view. Now it's kind of rainy, but he says it's a wonderful view. But this guy, says, okay, I guess I'll do that. Because, this guy has told him in so many words that he's not going to live much longer because this guy's got connections. So he figures, what the fuck? Might as well do what this guy says. Because, he's probably going to have somebody come up to me and double tap me in the head with a .22, handgun, which is the usual standard practice for the mafia. And so he goes out onto the ledge. It's raining. Now, he goes out there, and he goes out as far as he feels comfortable doing it. And then, anyway, this old guy, he has an umbrella in his hand, and he says, here, take this umbrella. But instead of actually giving him the umbrella, he kind of pokes the guy. I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to knock the guy off the ledge and let him die. He wants to kill him himself. But this professor is pretty clever. So what he does instead, he turns the tables on this guy, and he pulls on the end of the umbrella, and he pulls the old guy right out onto the ledge, and he falls off and dies. Right. And anyway, but see, this is the thing. This guy's died, and he's obviously already made arrangements for this guy to be assassinated, or not assassinated, murdered, killed, a contract hit. So this guy knows he's gonna die. So anyway, he packs his bags and gets into his car, and he's got a fairly nice car, and he heads out on the road because he figures a road trip. So he gets to someplace in the desert, and he has this vision, I guess you'd say. He's in this, it's either a dream or a vision. I'm not sure. It's not clear from the writing. But he says he kind of makes a phone call, and he's calling heaven. He's calling heaven from a payphone in the desert. Anyway, and evidently I don't know. Oh, another thing. This mafioso type had after this guy dies, he goes to find his black whore, and then he finds that she's been murdered, probably by the guy that he just pulled off the ledge. So the black whore's gone, and strangely enough, the woman that this guy had been screwing with, the old man's wife, she dies of an overdose, which is, in a suspicious manner. So she's dead, the black whore's dead, and of course his wife's dead. Anyway, so he makes this hypothetical call to heaven, or this vision to heaven, and he talks to him. He's talking to 4 women now. He's talking to his wife, who actually had great love for him. He's talking to the black whore, who also loved him. He's talking to the woman that he had the affair with, the old man's wife. She loves him too. They all love him. And then there, oddly enough, there's Marilyn Monroe. She's up there in heaven because this is after she committed suicide, you know. So anyway, according to what the women said on the phone, they're all having a lot of fun up there in heaven. Or is it hell? I'm not sure which it is. I suppose it has to be hell. But they're kind of like getting along real well. It's kind of unusual for women to get along because usually they're very competitive. And there's a sort of a hint of lesbianism there. Seriously, it was a good book. I don't know. I think they made it into a movie. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is me, and today is March 3rd, 2013. So that would be 3313. Anyway, time is about 11:39 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm right next to St. James Cathedral. You know, the Pope resigned. They said he'd already gave hints that he was going to resign back in 2005. He became Pope in 2005. Isn't that interesting?